This morning I have a book that I want to read to you, and it's a Caldecott book. Okay, and this was a Caldecott book from 1971. This book won that year for it being the best children's picture book. Okay? And the author is Nani Hogrogian. Do you know what the author is?
Who writes the book?
Very good. Somebody who writes the book. And before I read books, I like to look at the cover, look at the pictures, and think about what do I already know about things on the covers. For example, fox. There's a fox, right? I know I have seen real foxes before. Is there anything in this picture that you think about?
He might be going somewhere.
You think that he might be going somewhere? Okay. And where do you think he's going?
Probably to go find some food.
Go find some foods? Okay. And it's a sunny day, right? From what we can tell? Okay, well, let's see what we find out, okay? What are some questions that we like to think about before we start reading?
Where did he come from and where he's going?
And it's one fine day. One fine day, a fox traveled through a great forest. When he reached the other side, he was very thirsty. He saw a pail of milk that an old woman had set down while she gathered wood for her fire. Before she noticed the fox, he had lapped up most of the milk.
What does lap mean?
Lap means he licked. He licked all the milk up. That means basically he drank all of it.
Like an ice cream cone?
Kind of like an ice cream cone, right. The woman became so angry that she grabbed her knife and chopped off his tail. And the fox began to cry. Please, old woman, give me my tail back. Sew it in place or all my friends will laugh at me. Give me back my milk, she said, and I'll give you back your tail. The fox found a fair maiden, sweet maiden, he said. Please give me your jug so I can fetch some water to give the field, to get some grass, to feed the cow, to get some milk, to give the old woman to sew my tail in place so I can return to my friends. The maiden smiled. If you find a blue bead for me, she said, I will give you my jug. What do you think a maiden is?
Kind of like a servant.
A servant? Well, a maiden actually is like a young girl, a young lady. So the fox found a peddler and said, there is a pretty maiden down the road, and if you give me one blue bead for her, she'll be pleased with you and pleased with me. Then she'll give me her jug so I can fetch some water to give the field, to get some grass, to feed the cow, to get some milk, to give the old woman, to sew my tail in place. But the peddler was not taken in by the promise of a pretty smile or the cleverness of the fox, and he replied, pay me an egg and I'll give you a bead. Do you know what a peddler is?
Kind of like a guy who brings stuff to a village and then another village.
Very good. That's really good, Rochelle. It's like a traveling salesperson. Very good. You ready to read?
Mm-hmm. The fox returned to the old woman and gave her the milk. Then she carefully
Sewed
his tail in place. And off he ran to join his friends on the other side of the forest. The end.
Okay. So what were some questions that we asked in the beginning? Do you remember our question about the fox, where he was going?
He's going to get all that stuff so he can get the milk back.
Right. But at the end of the day, he just wants to get to his friends, right?
Right.
So do you think he was having a one fine day? No. What kind of day do you think he was having overall?
A bad day.
A bad day. A super long bad day, huh? But at the end, he got his tail back, right? Did you like this book? Did you like the story?
Now I know why I got a Caldecott medal book. It was a good book.
You think it was a great book? Okay, very good. Yeah, this is a really good book, okay? All right, well, thank you, Rochelle.
You're welcome.
What does the fox say?